outgrowing people is inevitable. It's gonna happen to all of us someday. You can't run from it, all right? I'm gonna tell you right now. You can't run from it. It's gonna happen to you later in life. Maybe now, maybe later, maybe it already did. So I really want to touch on friendships and how they seem to just fade. Especially those friendships where you and your friends seem to be really close and actually have been close for many years. Maybe you guys shared similar music taste, food taste, the same clothing brands. You guys played the same games every day. You guys had the same humor, the same lingo, everything. Everything you could think of. Everything was fine. You both tell each other that no matter what and how busy life gets, you'll both make time for each other and you'll be friends until the end. I'm pretty sure we've all felt this way. We've uttered the we'll be friends forever no matter what spiel, you know. It genuinely feels that way though, especially with a good friend and everything's going well. You guys are super tight. There's minimal arguments. And at least for the boys, I'm speaking for the men right now. Whenever you and your homeboy get into some argument over God knows what, it could be over a sport or whatever, you never let a day pass where you guys remain upset at each other. Because at the end of the day, we're boys for a reason. And whatever disagreement we had earlier, that doesn't define our friendship. I still love you, gang. Like, I can acknowledge that and say that I still love you despite what we had going on earlier. So we just move on because honestly, it really isn't that deep. And for most people that you come and go by and people that have just left your life, it's the people that you used to speak to every day, the people that were literally a part of your daily routine, the people you text when you wake up, people you'd go to school with, maybe the same bus path or the same walking route. And then they're nowhere to be found soon, you know, or they're still around. They're still around, but they take weeks to reply. Group chats die out. The hangouts get harder to plan due to everyone having different things going on. Everyone's in a different city, different country, whatever for school, blah, blah, blah. You know, and maybe when you guys do meet up, it's like the entire mood just shifted. Those things you once had in common don't really click anymore. You're both there, but you're not really there, if you get what I'm trying to say. And that's literally just growing up. You'd have to be living in some dream realm because that's just what happens. Like I said before, if people come and go, it usually stems from people finding new things to enjoy, new environments to surround themselves in. And it's no bad feelings to you or them. But as time goes on, there really isn't much you guys have to share. There's not really much you guys have in common. Maybe your interests have changed and faded. And apart from the little stupid small talk, like let me recreate it right now. Hey, how's it been? I hope all is well. I hope everything's good with you. It's been a minute. Let's catch up. Yeah, you know, everything's good, you know. Oh, that's good. So how's school? How's uni? How's high school? Yeah, school's good, you know. Just the same usual, you know. I low-key hate school right now. I hate everyone at school. I hate everybody at school. Oh, cool. So how's work? Yeah, work's cool too, you know. Like, yeah, the usual. And then even recreating this right now, I'm literally like cringing because it's just it's so shallow. It's so shallow. Like, dude, let's cut the act. We both know we don't care about this. Let's be dead ass for a second. We both know we don't care about this little small talk. And then it's crazy how silence comes to replace this once close feeling. When you're with your friend, you know, you might be in the car, you all are walking together at the mall, and then there's just nothing to discuss. There's that silence where, you know, you and your friend, sometimes there's just nothing to discuss. I hate people who just try to fill silence anytime it gets quiet because they're just awkward and they've never dealt with it. But that's normal. If you're human, you don't have anything to say 24/7. Sometimes you have to take a break and just accept the silence and take it for what it is. I haven't met anyone who can talk 24/7 and ramble on. If you can, let me know. Let me speak to them one-on-one. Yeah, but that silence comes to replace this feeling that you guys once had, this bond. And it's like, wow, I actually feel uncomfortable. Like, I'd rather be at home. I'd rather be doing something else instead of being with you right now. And that's so sad when you realize that's one of your closest friends that you feel that way with. And as we grow older, we come to an inevitable point where we will naturally outgrow some people. And you know what? That's completely okay. When you're younger, the friendships that you built were usually based on proximity, meaning that you were able to befriend and be acquainted with some people because you saw them every day and you had to be around them all the time. But as you age, and maybe some of you move away or begin to understand yourselves, pick up new hobbies, find yourselves in places that you didn't really like before, growing becomes a lot more about alignment than proximity and being friends because we met at some point in time and that's all we kind of have in common. We met at destination A, and that's the reason we met. And then you'll begin to notice the people who are actually draining you. who weren't looking out for your best interest, those people who are secretly envious of you, and maybe some of the inside jokes aren't really landing the same, or some of the jokes are probably targeted towards you. There's a lot of animosity that you're starting to feel now. And then that's when it really hits you that the friendship is really cooked, it's fried. Then you'll tell yourself that, those friendships you've built were built on mere convenience rather than actually staying connected to each other. People are not meant to be around for your entire life. And God bless those who still have lifelong friendships because it's a 1 in a million chance to have that going. I thought that was going to be me. I'm going to tell a story shortly, but oh my God. Kudos to all of y'all because, yeah, life really does this life thing. Life's for sure. Some people are meant to stick around for a chapter, some for a season, and that's completely okay. And what some of you need to understand is that just because you make the decision to remove someone from your life doesn't automatically mean that you need to feel hate towards them. That's not a healthy move to make, and you'll just hold resentment in your heart forever when that's not necessary. You're just spreading your wings and growing in a different direction while still respecting those who you have to leave from afar. And I'm saying this because I recently had to part ways with a friend in September, and of many years, we were friends for about a decade. Let's call him Sam. Let's call this guy Sam, okay? Basically, me and Sam split apart, and I couldn't see us being friends for much longer. I spent a lot of my time figuring myself out, and the more that I did that, I realized that Sam and I weren't really clicking that much, or at least I didn't feel a connection to him anymore. And I almost dreaded the moment we'd have to hang out and converse. Anytime we'd make plans, I'd feel nice in the moment. I'm like, okay, like I'm about to see my boy. Like obviously I feel good. But then when the day actually comes and I'm on like the bus to go to him, I'm just like, oh shit, maybe I should have stayed home. Maybe I should have stayed home. I'm not really feeling it. As soon as I step outside, my mind just shifted entirely. And that's when I knew. And I felt this way for a while, probably about a year or so prior. But I wanted to cope. I wanted to hold on to that false hope and believe that, oh, maybe it's just temporary. Maybe I can restore this friendship and save it. Maybe things can go back to the way they were if I just tried hard enough. My heart wasn't going for it. I knew that this is what it would come down to. And Sam and I ended up parting ways. But I still hold love and respect for him no matter what. And there's no animosity. There's no secret hatred. And I just seriously hope he does well in life. I wish the best for him. And I hope he achieves the goals that he set out for himself. That's still my bro. But we just have to be bros from a distance. And when it comes to growing apart from some people, man, that's the right way to do it. Don't grow apart from people in a negative way. Unless they've done you truly dirt. There's always exceptions. But if it's a mutual respect thing, you guys just don't align anymore, just be respectful and find your new people. Walk on your own paths. And if you are in this situation where you feel it in your chest that it's time to let go of a friend for good, for whatever the reason may be, if they start viewing your distance as betrayal instead of growth, that's something you need to consider for real. And then maybe to add to this, you notice that people only support you when they feel it's right. As in like, oh nah, I see you leveling up. I can't have this. I can't allow this. They're doing something. Shit, maybe they're doing something that I want to do or something I never saw them doing. So then they'll try and bring you down with them and keep you there in this box that they set you in. Nah, buddy. Miss me with that. Unless your friends and the people around you have a growth-oriented mindset, for the most part, by default, let me explain this to you. They won't even notice this because it's also subconscious, but they'll label you a certain way and then set you at a level. And if you try to extend past and elevate past the level they set for you, it's pretty much like you just gave them a heart attack. At the time, you and your friend were once super similar and your friends messed with you. Everyone was all cool. You guys were all on the same level. That's what you had in common. But the second that you gain some sort of altitude and you gain some sort of momentum, suddenly it's, oh, you changed. What happened to you? Oh, nah, you changed. What happened to you? Bro, I was there since day one. Don't you remember me? Crickets. Keep that mindset away from me. I'm good off that. You're not going to catch me in that genjutsu. No, not me. Not me, though. Not me. And the truth is, not everyone wants to see you doing well. Not everyone's clapping and rooting for you. Your success will trigger a lot of people. Even the way you look at people will rub them the wrong way. Don't you find that a little crazy? And then that's when you realize that not everyone in your life has to be on the same path as you. And you can just let them travel down their own. Let them do their own thing. Some people they don't understand. They simply won't understand, and there's no point in explaining to them because they still won't understand. And yeah, man, it's not easy to let go. Trust me. It's easier said than done. And I'm still grieving what I had to do in September with my friend. Man, it's tough. Like even when I log on to PlayStation, because I still have him added. Whenever I log on to PlayStation and I just see what he's playing, I'm just like, damn, is this really how things had to go? Is this really how things had to play out? In reality, yes, it is how it had to play out. I'm not the type of person to spin back. Once I think something through and I make my decision, that's it. I'm not coming back. You're not going to see me again. Trust me, you're not going to see me again. I don't run off being impulsive and making quick decisions in the moment. I really think things through before I do it. But I miss the way things used to be. But that's just nostalgia invading my mind, and this is how nostalgia is tricking me into remembering the best parts of what we had, while not actually addressing why him and I drifted in the first place. Thing is that you will most likely see a vision for yourself that only you see, and it's hard to explain to others because, like I said before, the you they've known you. Hold on, let me cook for a second. All right, peep game and lock in. The you they've known you for so long isn't the same you now associate yourself with. Bars. That was a lot of use, but if you understand, you understand. But instead of forcing old relationships or old friendships, we need to accept the fact that not everyone is meant to stay. And some friends can just be memories you carry with love, simple as that, and which you just need to appreciate them when they're gone or from a distance. You don't have to hate nobody. You don't got to do nothing bad to nobody. Just say, hey man, we can be cool. We're still cordial, but this isn't going to work out. We're going to just have to do something else. We got to find new people. We got to just, you got to have that talk. You have to sit down and have that talk with your friend when it comes to that point. And, this doesn't make you cold by moving on, but it shows that you prioritize your peace over history. To keep your head up and grow, even when certain people switch up or may hate the new things you're doing. And that's completely okay, man. In the end, that's what real growth is. And to be honest, if you're able to look back on your life right now, and you can't recall any meaningful change in yourself within the last year or so, that's kind of concerning. I'm genuinely afraid of remaining stagnant and being in one place for a long time. I change every day like I change my pants, dead ass. So I don't know nothing about moving backwards. If you've watched Sonic or you're tapped in with Sonic, yeah, you know what he does. You already know what he does. This boy does not stop moving. So that's how I am. Get with the program. But outgrowing friends is about understanding that letting go does not equal beef, and it doesn't equal losing someone. It simply means that you are going through a phase where you just have to find yourself again, and new people will come along who can now align with the version of yourself who is now progressing. So if this video spoke to you, let me know how you feel. Let me know if you're in a situation right now where you're starting to sense the early signs of you and your friends kind of growing apart and distancing, or maybe you've already outgrown a friend, maybe a couple, maybe a few, and you're still feeling the effects of it maybe months, years later. Like, let me know whatever it is about this topic. I'd love to hear about it. So hit the like, hit the sub button, and we only go up from here, buddy.